So this is us on our way to an engagement party in Dover. Unfortunately, I forgot to turn the sound on when I was videoing, but we had a great night. So once we arrived in Dover, we set the motorhome up at the social club and headed off out with friends for an evening meal. We decided to eat before we partied the night away, and what a great night it was. Everyone, so we're just back from our meal in the pub and we're just about to get ready and change to go over to the engagement party. So hopefully it'll be a good night, and we'll catch up with you soon. Bye. So what a fantastic night we had at the engagement party, but the next morning we headed back to JC Leisure. So we're back in the van that we looked at the other week, and I said I like the back end but not the front end. As you can see, it's got the German bed, single beds, and they cut into a huge double bed. There's a window each side with cupboards over and open shelves. No, I don't think so. Sorry, Dave was just asking me. We're looking for the part that fits into the shower. It's what holds the doors back while you're driving. That's the shower with skylight above, and then you've got separate toilet which the door goes across, so it's like a split bathroom, as you can see. Got the toilet, sink, and there's storage under the sink. Oh, somebody's left stuff in there, so that's quite nice. And also you've got soap dish, cup holder. There's some nice storage there. That's good. Goes all the way down. You've got no window, but there, as I say, there is a skylight, and you can open the door. There is a smaller kitchen. Sorry, I've just dumped my phone and sunglasses on there. There's a window, and you've got 3 burner hob, some hooks above, storage. There doesn't seem to be many USB sockets in here, so we might have to have those fitted if we have it. There's a sink and cutlery, Thetford oven, which is quite low. It does the job. Below that, another storage drawer. Huge cupboard in here. Your bin. Dave's just wrecking the place. There are some storage units under the bed which are quite big. See? And on the other side, hanging, there are carpets that go in here, and that's why there's Velcro strips. Nice skylight. So I'm not sure what Dave is doing. He's literally dismantled it. What are you looking for?
Trying to find the all-elusive shower board.
What's that behind your head?
No, that goes there. You can actually take that out, and not have that cushion along there. Look.
Well, yeah. I think I prefer it with
I think.
So There's one, two salads, that's quite,
so the water tank's under here, under the seat.
Oh yeah.
Which it was in the other deathless.
Mm.
It might be more of a bowl ache.
That's something you're going to have to watch. You throw the seatbelt over and...
Yeah, but we're obviously we're doing something permanent with the seatbelt because we won't be using them, will we? So.
Well, all you've got to do is tuck it behind that flap. Oh yeah, and I've probably shown you this before, but there's quite a nice big fridge with freezer compartment. And then there is storage drawer below, and over there where you can see the seat, there is another cupboard which is ample for shoe storage. So although it's a bit more compact in the living space, I've sort of come round to the idea because I think where we're having so many problems with our drop down bed, I have sort of come around to the idea of having the two singles and the bed's being made up all the time, and we haven't got to worry when we come back after a few drinks trying to get the bed to operate. So we have since been told today, and we've got yet to try it when we get home, but it could be that we've got the bedding on the bed when we're trying to put the bed down, and that if we took the bedding off, obviously the bed should operate without any problem. But that sort of defeats the object, because we want a motorhome where we can just leave the beds made up. And but we're going to go home and give it a try anyway and see if that actually solves the problem, and we'll let you know on that. But for now, I think we've decided it's a bit too much hassle, and we'd rather go for the single beds that we can make into a big double. They're made up all the time then, and the good thing with this motorhome is that the table isn't electronically operated at the front, so if we want to take it out we can, and that gives up a bit more space for the dog if need be. But we if we take the motorhome, we might live with it for a while before we take the table out and see how we get on. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's quite nice. Dave's on the hunt for the board, as I say, for the shower. I thought I'd seen it in the garage, but Dave says it's not that, so we're going to have to find out about that.
Let's have a look at the back.
Okay.
So I think that,
the motorhome shuffle.
I think we're going to need
a USB each side.
A couple of USBs, one each side.
Yeah.
A couple of double USBs.
Yeah.
Like what we had put in the other van. Up here.
Yeah.
And then a couple down there, I think.
Yeah, where? So, what do you think, guys? I think it's a lovely motorhome. It feels huge inside, but it's got a bit of a dink in the table, as we showed you before, but I'm sure I can do something about that. And it's lovely and light. I will give it that. It's lovely and light. And this big white seat here, that's really comfortable as well. So yeah. So there you are. Very nice. So we'll let you know the bed saga in our other motorhome, and we'll let you know if we decide to go for this one or not. Bye. So we're finally home. We had an absolutely fantastic weekend. Dave's just about to put the clutch claw on and all the security. We're going to park the van up and we've just got to decide whether we change the van or not. So watch this space. Did we or didn't we? Oh, hello, Hector. Right, so we are about to give a demonstration of the bed yet again to see if it actually works without the bedding on. So we're going to test it first to show you what's happening. Hector, you come here with me and sit. Good boy. Stay there. Stay. Good boy.
Right, so as you can see, we've got the bedding on. Right, there's a tiny little gap between the bedding and the ceiling because it's supposed to have that because of condensation. So what we're going to do now is operate the bed, try and get it down and see if it does what it was doing the other night.
I have to add, we've got it plugged in, haven't we, to the electric.
Right, now it's come down halfway to the midpoint, which is what it's supposed to do, and then it stops. That's at the right height to attach a ladder if you want to use it at that height. But as it come down and stopped, it ticked up slightly, which I don't think it's supposed to do that. So now we should be able to press the down button and it should go down further. But it doesn't. It's completely won't go anywhere now.
Okay.
So the theory is, after talking to the dealer's technician, is that because this bedding is on there, it's not going right up to the stop for the panel to reset itself. So what we're going to do is we'll take the bedding off and give that a try.
Okay.
Right, so we've got the bedding off now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send the bed back up, right up to the stop, give the control panel a chance to reset itself, and then we'll prove whether or not it's that theory or there is something wrong with the actual second control panel. Right, so that's now up as far as it'll go. As you can see there is the gap there for the condensation bit, but obviously with that bedding in, it wouldn't be right up. So this is what we found, because we're at home testing it with the bedding on, and the dealers are testing it up and down their end with no bedding on, because when we send it back we take the bedding off and put it in the house. So there's a confliction of how it's being done between us and them. So we'll give it the big test now and we'll see. That's gone right up, so that should have hit any sensors that it should have hit, and we should be ready to operate it properly now.
And we are still plugged into the electric, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the dealers they tested it on electric and off electric. Right, so that hasn't even come down to its halfway point, is it?
It's coming down though.
It's coming down, yeah.
Oh my God.
Right, send it up again.
Hector, you stay there. Good boy.
Right, so it stopped at what should be the midpoint. Right, so that's up full whack now. I'm going to do it one more time, and that should stop at the midpoint.
Sort of.
So it's kicked back up, but I don't think that's the right. It's normally lower than that, isn't it? Midpoint?
Well, the only way to find out is by having the ladder on, I guess, so you know the height.
But that is coming down now. So it sounds like the technician's theory is right.
And look how low it is now. So
it actually goes down lower than that. If we took the seat cushions off, it would go down about 3 inches more, which we don't bother doing because we find that easy to get in and out. So,
but obviously we don't want a motorhome where we're having to store the bed in.
So I think this is the thing now, that you can't, by the sounds of it, you can't have the bedding on. And to be fair, them Duvet sleeping bags, when they're rolled out and they're flattened out, they're not that thick. They're not like a big
No.
chunky duvet.
No.
So I don't think you can get bedding any. As it is, we don't. You know, we take the killers off and store them away.
Mm.
So we don't really want to be rolling up duvets and having to store them in the day and then rolling them all out again at night. That for me defeats the object of having a drop down bed. Now the technician said that possibly the stops at the top, or the sensors at the top, that sort of identifies that the bed's right up and resets the panel, the control panel. They said possibly we could drop them down, but they wasn't sure if that was possible or not. I don't really know. So let's give it one more try. I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Unplug it.
I'll unplug it.
Hector, meanwhile, come here. Sorry, we are sat in the toilet at the moment because we're out of the way. Come here, Hector. Come and say hello. He hasn't actually been on camera for a while, have you? Sit there, because everywhere we've been, Hector hasn't been able to come with us. So we thought we'd give him a little intro, and he likes being in there. Right, I'm going to turn it round again. Bye-bye, Hector.
I've unplugged the electric, so we're working totally off the leisure batteries now. And for my mind, that shouldn't make any difference if it's leisure battery or it's on electric.
Yeah, because obviously we do a lot of off-grid, don't we? Hector's trying to creep out. Hector, will you come here?
Right, so that's now right back up to the stop. And we should have the same situation now.
I didn't think it was going to work then.
Temperamental these are, it's fair to say. That's stopping, but that's, for me, that's now not right.
Why?
Because that halfway midpoint is lower.
Well, are you sure?
Yeah. So you only prove that by getting the ladder out, but that's in the loft and I can't be bothered to get that out. So, but I know that's normally lower, but it has stopped at that point. So we'll try and take it down further now.
Yeah, Dave leaves the ladder in the loft, and when the bed wasn't working, I literally had to climb on the sofa and then get a bunk up onto the bed.
Right, so yeah, that's doing the same again. So I think it's proving that the technician's theory is right. But the only thing I would say against that is, when we got this van over a year ago and we had the original control panel in, the duvets were on it all the time, and it never had any effect on that. It used to go up and we'd have a little gap between the duvets and the ceiling of about that much for air, and then we would drop it down halfway and go all the way down, and that's exactly how it was for more or less a year.
Which is why we bought the van in the first place.
Yeah, until the original control panel stopped working, We took that in, and they did prove that it was, the control panel was faulty, although, so they then applied for a new one to be done under warranty, which took forever. It got approved, that took forever, and then the time it took to get delivered was forever. But fortunately, in all that time we waited, we was able to still use the bed in
service mode.
Which meant it come all the way down. It wouldn't stop at the halfway point at all, coming down or going up, but it did used to come down, so it never affected our camping whatsoever. So that's it now. Then I think that's proved it, that, you know, for the bed to operate correctly as per the control panel set, you can't have the bedding on, and for me that defeats the object of having a drop down fixed bed, if you like.
Yeah.
If you've got to start packing bedding away and storing it away. So I think.
What do you think, Hector?
So I think now we're pushed even further on to plan B of changing the van for the German bed layout, 2 single beds, whatever way you want to look at it.
Well, we're talking about it, so
we've been and looked at it a couple of times.
Yeah. Hector, come back here.
But the big question is, will we change it or not? So you'll have to wait until the next video to find that out. So
I'd just like to say thank you to all our new subscribers. We are complete amateurs at this, and we're just out really in our motorhome with Hector and our friends having fun, and we thought we'd do a few videos while we're at it, so please don't judge us, but yeah, watch this space and see what happens.
But if you found this video useful, if there's any guys out there that have got a drop down bed that have been having the same issues where it's not operating correctly, I think on this particular van, on this particular control panel, I think we've now proved, you know, what the issues are. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the control panel now, even though it is the second one. But what seems to be the issue is that you can't leave the bedding on. So for me, that is an issue, because we're at the stage where we don't want to be dragging bedding out of cupboards and making beds up and trying to,
especially after a
sort
few
all
drinks,
that out when you've been out. You know, I mean, you could set the bed up before you go out, of course you can, but then when we come back into the van, if we want to have a cup of tea before we go to bed, or we want to have a chat with friends, that's not going to work either. So yeah, I think now we're now edging towards changing the van, which was always in our minds anyway. One has come into our local dealer the past week that we have looked at twice. So the question is, will we be changing it or not? But as I said, you're going to have to wait until the next video to find that out. So if you liked the video and you found it useful, please give us a like, and if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. So catch you later, guys.
Hector, are you enjoying the sun? I think he is.
Right.
So now the bed is down, Dave. That doesn't mean you can lay on it all day. We've got jobs to do.
I'm quite comfortable now.
Yeah. Right, I've got to go and find what's happened to my dog. Hector, where are you? There you are. Good boy. Come on, Hector. Let's go. Where are you?